Okay, I'm half crying watching this. I want to thank Rose for everything. And I know that a lot of people are saying and calling you a crazy or crackhead and etc. etc. Don't listen to these people, because you're inspiring a lot of people who are rape victims. And, victim of a child molester, victim of the rapist, victim of the power, victim of the whole thing, And, she could have just shut up like the rest of those actresses, but she didn't. And a lot of people are saying that if she is real, how come she took the money from Harvey Weinstein, $100,000? I thought about the same things, but just think about that. She was raped when she was like, I don't know, early 20-something years old, being an actress and living all alone. I'm sure it wasn't that easy for her, for sure. And I don't know what to say.
To give him his medicine for his penis so he could go and rape at his daily appointments. This is so big. It's mind-boggling. And when I say everybody knew, pretty much everybody knew.
When you say shame is his punishment, is that enough of punishment? Do you want to see him go to jail? Does he need to go to jail forever? What happens next?
He should go to jail forever. He stole so many lives. He stole, he ate, he killed, he destroyed not just careers, but like the nights that I've been on the floor crying while he gets Oscars.
Okay, 60 people, 60 accusation, okay? Here's one more. Me. I did not get raped by him directly, but I met Harvey Weinstein, and I didn't even know his name. And there's people saying that, some of those women actually slept with Harvey Weinstein to exchange the power. Well, sure, some of them, they did that for sure. But my thing is, I did not meet him at the audition place. I met him at the regular parking place. Yeah, and I was chased by him and harassed by him multiple times. And the thing is, he is a power-possessed guy. And he didn't even see one tear drop when he was at the court. So what does that stand for? What does that mean? He's gonna rape another woman again. He is gonna rape another woman again. So I have so many words to say to LAPD. Watch his back. Watch his back, because he's gonna come to California. And the whole accusation things is happening, the court system and everything is in New York. I met him in Los Angeles, LA, okay? On Sunset Boulevard. Sunset, right? So, I think the whole American state, yeah, not just New York and Connecticut, the whole American state, whole American states, they need to watch this man named Harvey Weinstein's back. Put him, I don't know, inject him a microscope or something, like, to trace his body, because he's gonna rape another woman. I'm telling you.
And these women, we are humans. We were taken. Our lives were stolen.
If he stole your lives, do you get it back today?
I think today is a damn good start. Yeah.
You do have to be connected to him forever. Mm-hmm. Anytime we hear your name, we see your face, you're tied to Harvey. How does that feel?
It's, there was a point, you know, in the beginning, a long time ago, after it happened, and I thought of it then. I thought, oh my God, he's going to be in my obituary, because I knew what I was planning. It just took me 20 years to do it. And I had to make peace with him being in my obituary.
You know why? You know why it took 20 years? Because a lot of us, we needed to go to a lot of process in our heads. That we are living in a society where people's gonna, you know, we are living in a victim society, victim blaming society. When I was first molested by a middle-aged guy, I was only 11-year-old girl. And I told my mother about it. That society told me to shut up. 11-year-old girl virgin. I was fingered by a middle-aged guy. And I was ashamed about everything. Just every little things about what happened to my body. And I just couldn't believe it. But the worst thing is, I was only 11, so I did not know what a sex is. I didn't even know what a sex stands for. And so that when a middle-aged guy groped me, I just, you know, it takes a while to digest and process in your head that you don't understand that. Because you don't know what sex stands for if you are only 11-year-old girl. And it was just too much for me to take it, and it was too much. I was ashamed of myself. Instead of blaming the actual rapist or sexual offender or predator or whatever you call it, dealing pedophilia has been around for a long time, and yeah, it's long time ago, but my brain is still like, I still remember every little detail about it. The things what happened to my body when I was only 11-year-old girl. So I understand how Rose Mcgowan went through. Took her 20 years, and she kept silent because I'm sure she went through the same things like I did. That, you know, I mean, who's gonna believe it? First of all, who's gonna believe it? And women are going to be punished and blamed by the society first, not the actual rapist, right? So according to the study, only 4 to 5% women are actually go to police station and make accusation. Only 4% in America. And 1 in 6 American women are raped every day. Okay? Somewhere in America, American women, and I'm not saying that all men are rapists. I love men. I don't hate men. I love men. But I think it's time for a man to be a gentleman, not a rapist. Because if you are a man and if you ever witness something weird and you don't say anything, then you are also a friend of the rapist. That would make you a devil. Does that make sense? But that's how the society works. It's been around for thousands of years, I guess. And like I say, I was such shamed by the society. I was only a fucking 11-year-old girl, okay? And it was just too much for me to go through. that I'm sorry, I can't talk. And when I told my elementary school classmates, and I told all my female friends to be careful because the rapist was living in my neighborhood. He was a middle-aged guy. And nobody believed my story. I was slut-shamed when I was 11-year-old girl. Can you imagine a virgin and slut-shamed by someone? Slut-shamed by the society when you didn't even know what sex stands for. And unfortunately, that's society where that's the society we are living. Yeah, and I live in Asia right now, so in Asia or Middle East or Africa or even Latin America, things are actually much worse than Western countries. Like, for example, if you are living in the Middle East, if you're a 7-year-old girl and raped by a 58-year-old man, that 7-year-old girl is gonna be persecuted, not the actual rapist. And that 7-year-old girl would be slut-shamed. Just like I was slut-shamed when I was only 11-year-old girl. And the thing is, the guy who tried to molest me and grab my pussy from behind, he didn't go to jail. And I talked to my mother. My mother talked to her husband because it's too awkward for 11-year-old girl to talk to her father about sex. You don't want to tell your father that my pussy was grabbed by a middle-aged guy. It's too humiliating. It's too embarrassing to say that. So I said to my mother. My mother told the story to my father. And my father went to his house. And he was a middle-aged guy living with her mother. Mother came to the door. Mother opened the door, and she said to my father, "My son is not that type of guy. My son is not a type of guy who would molest a little child like your daughter." The whole rumor was spread. My mother said she talked to the head of PTA. Nobody believed me. I was slut-shamed. Some people thought I was lying. The guy was never arrested. That's my story. 2 weeks later, he raped another little girl who was also going to the same elementary school as me. She was only 6-year-old. So, when he tried to sexual harass me and molest me, and she grabbed my pussy from behind. He tried to grab my pussy from behind, and he fingered me from behind. He just inserted his hand into my skirt, and I was walking down the street. I was going back to home. from my school, and the whole things happened. But I was 11-year-old girl and pretty tall at the time, and strong enough to kick him out. So I kicked him. I punched him and smashed him because he was riding on a motorbike, and he fell off the motorbike. And oh my god, what am I talking about? I'm telling the whole story. Yeah. So he ran away. He came back. He came to me and tried to grab my pussy again. I kicked his bike. He fell off. He fell off and he took a ride on the bike. He escaped. He ran. But you know, he was living in my neighborhood. He was trying to abduct me, rape me. He tried to kidnap me, but he couldn't kidnap me because I was strong enough to push him back. So 2 weeks later, he molested and raped another kid from my school. I say he and she. I'm sorry, English is not my first language. It's difficult for me to speak up. She was a 6-year-old girl raped by him, the same guy. And what happened to the guy? Guy never went to the jail. Yeah, you see, I told you only 4% is going to be the actual rape accused. They only like 4%. Only 4% of the whole rape victims are going to make accusation, which means most rape victims are going to be quiet because they are ashamed. You know. So because of that incident, because of that situation happened, I could not report when I met Harvey Weinstein. You know, it's almost like, again, another sexual offender, again. Why do I have to go through this? It was actually my fourth time. Fourth time means I met another sexual offender before Harvey Weinstein. The first one was when I was 11-year-old. And then I went to all-girls school. Of course, when you go to all-girls school, you don't get raped, because your classmates and everybody's are all girls. And after high school, you know, I was a completely virgin. And, well, if you don't count the, you know, the finger situation when I was an 11-year-old girl. If you count that situation as a sex, then my virginity was taken by a rapist when I was only 11. Yeah, and when I became 18 years old, I went to this place, you know, concert with my friend, and this party promoter put Kool-Aid, some drug into my friend's drink and manipulated my friend, and I did not sup the entire drink. By the way, we were not drinking. We are both high school students. We are not drinking any alcohol. We ordered orange juice, and we are drinking orange juice. And this guy, you know, after the concert, the party promoter came up to me and said to me, "We're gonna have an after party, do you wanna come?" And I was 18 years old, right after high school graduation, around like 2 weeks after the high school graduation. And I was raped by him. He didn't stop it. I was raped a virgin. Right. The third case is the guy who was a gardener, the personal gardener. I was living in Hollywood at the time, and my janitor gardener, he tried to grab me in the elevator, and he tried to grab me and tried to French kiss me in the elevator. Now, I sound like a crazy person, right? But all I'm saying is true. All I'm saying is true. Not that I'm saying that ugly girl do not get raped. Every woman go through this. You're just unlucky, right? And I was sexually groped by my own gardener, who was from Guatemala. I made an accusation. I talked to my apartment manager. I tried to talk to the landlord. I'm not bullshitting. Look at the security camera. You have a security camera in the elevator. And they said to me, I was 18 actually. No, I was 19, I'm sorry. I was 19 at the time. And they told me to wait for 3 days because they're gonna do an investigation. And you know why? When I was first raped when I was 18 years old, I didn't go to police officer and report it. Because when I was 11 years old, when I was fingered by a middle-aged guy, nobody believed me and they slut-shamed me. They told me maybe because you're wearing a skirt. I was not even wearing a miniskirt. I was wearing a child clothes. I was an 11-year-old girl walking in the street all alone, going back to home, and I was groped. And police didn't do anything to arrest the guy. So when I was actually raped by another guy when I was 18 years old, I didn't have a courage to tell another person what happened to my body. Because, when you are raped virgin by someone, you're gonna bleed really hard. And I was thinking in my head, if I report police officer, they're probably gonna investigate my body. And, you don't wanna go through that. You don't wanna go through that when you're only 18 years old. And they're probably gonna tell you that, where is the evidence? We don't have enough evidence. We can't arrest the guy. How am I prove the point? Are they going to take the sperm sample from my vagina? Hey, bitch, I was a virgin and I was bleeding for 2 weeks after that. I was ashamed and humiliated about everything what happened to my body. And I could not report the police. I still cannot report the police. I didn't even tell my best friend. I didn't even tell my family member. I didn't want my family member to know about that. Because I was ashamed. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. So I didn't call 911. And the third time when the things happened, by another guy, I was groped by a guy from Guatemala. Everything was on the camera for sure. And they told me to wait for 3 days to do the investigation. 3 days later, they called me. They called my phone. And she told me that yes, we saw the tape. We saw the guy he's touching your body. We saw it. And you know what she told me? She said she saw that video and she gotta give it to the tape to the landlord to tell the landlord what happened. So what happened is they tried to erase the tape, and they actually did. And I was living in America all alone as a 19-year-old girl, because I was a foreign student over there, and I couldn't speak very good English at the time. Can you imagine you get groped by a Guatemalan middle-aged guy in an elevator who is your apartment building janitor gardener, and you try to ask someone for help, but they try to erase the tape they saw? So when I said that I'm gonna call the police, my apartment manager, she told me that don't do it. We're gonna hire another guy quickly, so please don't do this. And I said, no, I'm gonna call police. And you know what she said to me? She said to me that she lost the tape. She said she lost the security cameras, the tape. So the whole everybody was just like, to me, it's unbelievable situation. Yeah. So I had to face that sexual offender, a Guatemalan rapist. I have to meet him. I had to meet him every day after that for 3 months, because they couldn't hire another guy. They couldn't find another guy so quickly. Can you imagine that you had to live in an apartment? By the way, I used to live in Hollywood Hills. Hollywood Hills is the worst area to live. There's a lot of creepy people living there, right? And after the incident, I was like, fuck everybody, you know? Fuck everybody that they tried to erase this, you know? Because evidence was in the tape, and they tried to erase the tape. And they actually did. They destroyed the tape. So I cannot go to the police station to make accusation. Anyway, so, you see, I sound like a crazy person, right? But so as Rose Mcgowan. A lot of people say Rose is crazy. I mean, this person right here, she's raped. Of course, she's not normal. She's been holding this pain for 20 years, like me. And then I told you I used to live in Hollywood Hills area. I had an apartment over there almost 20 years ago. And almost 20 years ago, there's a fourth guy I met. The fourth guy, sexual offender, that's Harvey Weinstein. I met him on the Sunset Boulevard, Ralph's grocery store. He followed me, harassed me for 15 minutes. At the grocery store, I refused to go to his hotel room. So this total stranger was asking me out on a date. And I was like, I was only 19. If you're 19-year-old, you don't go out with a disgusting, ugly, middle-aged dude who looks like a Harvey Weinstein. Okay, I'm not saying middle-aged guy sucks or anything. There's a lot of hardcore-looking middle-aged guys out there. That's not the point of this conversation. He looked like a rapist to me, so I refused to go to the hotel with him. He said to me, I have a sushi for you. I was like, what the fuck, right? And he ended up popping out his dick right next to my car and started jacking off and everything. But I did not get raped by Harvey Weinstein. But because of the incident, I'm really fucked up. I am fucked up. So when I see Rose Mcgowan, I feel like, wow, this woman is so strong. Like, she is strong as fuck. You know? Because mine is like, I'm not saying that I'm not I'm not emotionally damaged at all. I'm not gonna say that, because like I said, when I was 18, I was raped by another guy. It wasn't Harvey Weinstein, but I was raped by, party promoter guy, who was a concert promoter. I was not partying, I went to concert, okay? Concert promoter. He was a concert promoter / party promoter. I did not go to party, I went to the concert, okay? And he basically raped me. His name is Broderick Morris from Positive Production. Yeah, his name is Broderick Morris from Positive Production. I just said the name. I dropped the name. Yeah. And then I was sexually harassed by Harvey Weinstein. And when I went to audition, I was sexually groped by Wesley Snipes. So I just dropped the 3 names. I just dropped the 3 names in the show business. One is the most famous concert organizer promoter in Japan. The second is Harvey Weinstein. 3 is Wesley Snipes. And I'm not going to talk about Wesley Snipes' situation in this video because it's going to be too long. But he asked me to have sex with him to order to be in his movie, and I said no, I don't want to fuck you. And I tried to leave the office, and he groped me from behind. And if I wasn't strong enough to push his body, I would have been raped by him. So that's why I'm dropping the name right now, that if you're a young teenage girl to 20-something-year-old girl, never go to Wesley Snipes' office, you are going to be raped. He's gonna tell you that come to the audition, have a script for you. Never go to audition all alone. I went to audition with my friend, and I was groped right next to my friend's face. Yeah, so if you think that, I go there with my friends, I'll be okay. I'm gonna go to audition. No. Fuck no. Make sure that you go there with a guy, or even you with a guy. I mean, everybody's fucking rapist. Like, I'm not fucking joking. Like, and I'm not saying that everybody in the show business is a fucking rapist. Of course not. But there are a high percentage of sexual offenders and child molester. And this is not just for women. Gay guy, heterosexual male, they both get groped. And Ted Cruz was talking about how he's a tall, big black man, but his crotch was groped by this disgusting white dude, right? And if you think like, oh, he's a tall black man, why didn't you just punch the guy? No. If the guy has more power than you, then you can't say no, even you're a guy. So, according to the study, if you're a man, and if you are raped by a, let's say, big Shaquille O'Neal looking dude, I'm not saying that Shaquille O'Neal is a rapist, but just imagine that the guy who is much bigger than you, taller than you, masculine guy than you, you have a chance to get raped as well if you're a man. And it's really common, especially for child kid actors. Corey Feldman has been talking about it for centuries. Over a decade he's been talking about it, right? And it's the same things that people say that, oh, Corey Feldman is nuts, he's crazy, right? But let me just put this way, if Corey Feldman was a gold digger, he could have sued Michael Jackson, and he could have told the media that his dick was groped by Michael Jackson, which is he never did, because he's an honest person. Now, I do not know Corey Feldman personally. I never met him. I have never ever met him. But I believe the word from Corey Feldman. I believe Rose Mcgowan. And Rose, I don't know you. I never met you. But after I was talking about I was talking about a rapist in Hollywood like 10 years ago on my Twitter, and you are following me. I'm so sorry. I didn't know who you are. I didn't know who you were. I thought you were some kind of like a lawyer or someone who's trying to fuck me up. I'm so sorry. Because I didn't know you. But after I said on the Twitter that there's a bunch of rapists in Hollywood, you were following my Twitter. I remember you. Yeah, I don't have Twitter anymore. Maybe I should make one to spread the actual truth. And 10 years ago, you're not saying that you were raped. And 10 years ago, I didn't know about you. But you are a very, very strong person. And don't let anyone call you a crazy or a crackhead or anything like that. You're a very strong person. And because I'm also a victim, I do understand exactly what you are doing. Like, this chick right here she's a very gorgeous, beautiful woman. You know why she shaved her head? To attract men in general. This is a very common behavior for rape victims in general. That why is she dressing up like this? She's not wearing any jewelry. She's bald. She looks like, more like a stereotypical lesbian looking. Why is she dressing up like this? Why is she shaved her head? To protect herself, And because of where I'm coming from, I do understand exactly what she's doing. Because I do the same things. Not that I'm saying that my head is also bald. After Harvey Weinstein incident, I stopped wearing any makeup. Every time I go grocery shopping, I have to make sure that I look ugliest as possible. I wear hoodies on. Sometimes I wear sunglasses on and hoodies on, and I look creepy as fuck. I want to look creepy as fuck so the guy do not follow me and end up popping out his dick in front of my face. And the whole things that happened to me when I was a teenager. And, a lot of people who are like sexual harassment or rape victims or pedophilia victims in general. Did you know that rape victims are 4 times more likely to kill themselves? 4 times more likely to kill themselves. And what did I just tell you? Only 4% in America women make actual accusation. Only 4%. And only 4% make accusation. Yet the society is gonna attack those 4%. You are a liar. Maybe you are wanting. Maybe you are wearing a wrong clothes on. Maybe you are wearing a skirt and maybe your skirt was too short. I was like, bitch. When I was harassed by Harvey Weinstein, I was wearing a fucking no makeup on my face. I was wearing no makeup on my face going grocery store. I was still stalked by him, harassed by him. What the fuck you want me to say? That's like people saying that if you're a cheerleader and you wear a miniskirt, it's okay to rape her because she is wearing a miniskirt. If your logic is so fucking correct, then every cheerleader should be molested and raped by a football player because they all wear miniskirts. It's nonsense bullshit. You see, that's the world where we are living. That's the world where we are living. And so that's why only 4% makes accusation. Yeah. And this is my first time making accusation. Took me 20 years, just like Rose. So I understand why it took so long for her to say it. Because all of us, we were feeling like so down and depressed. We go down and down, and we're gonna get to the place where we feel like we wanna kill ourselves. Yeah. And you go to the police and try to make accusation, you're gonna be called liar or bullshitter, or maybe you are the one asking for. Like, what the fuck? And that's what I had to go through when I was 11-year-old girl. That's why I didn't make any accusation when I met the sexual offender when the second time or third time or four times. First time, I didn't make any accusation because of my personal experiences I had as an 11-year-old girl. It was too much shit to take it. Too much. So now, when I was actually raped by another guy when I was 18, I tried to forgive the guy. I tried to forget about the past. But, you know, it's time for men to change. It's time for men to change. And I'm not saying that men do not get raped. Men gets raped too. Like, if you're a young, gay, virgin, child actor, handsome, good-looking guy, you also gotta be very, very careful, because I had a gay friend back then. He was saying the same things. He was making some accusation too. That there are a lot of gays in Hollywood, that most of them are ugly guys. You know, a man in power like Harvey Weinstein, right? If you're a gay dude, you look like Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey, you can't get a dick when you go to the gay bar. Because gay people are more, I'm not going to say they are superficial. They love beautiful people. They like beautiful, handsome, good-looking people. So if you're an ugly gay dude and fat as fuck, look like Harvey Weinstein, you cannot get a dick, right? So what they do is, the people in the business, they try to molest innocent, young, handsome, good-looking, cute, twink-looking boy who want to make it to the show business. So this is not just a women accusation. I represent every victims. I'm not representing anything. I'm just saying my opinion. This is not just a women issue. So those are women hater, feminist hater, talking shit. Like, a lot of people saying that, oh, Rose is crazy. Shut up. All these feminists, shut the fuck up, etc., etc. Okay? I never said that men do not get raped. Okay? This is not about women or men. This is about power. Okay? So, if you are young kid actor, handsome, good-looking guy, heterosexual gay, doesn't matter. Be careful, because there's some middle-aged but ugly dude who is a self-hating, closet gay dude who looks like a Kevin Spacey or Bryan Singer. They are going to fuck you. So be careful. Now, I don't want to make a lot of comments about Bryan Singer or Kevin Spacey. But the weirdest thing is, when I had a Twitter back then 10 years ago, when I said the same things, be careful, because there's rapists out there in Hollywood and the music industry. Be careful. There was one guy following my Twitter. It was Bryan Singer. I did not even drop any name at that moment. I did not say anything. I just said to everybody, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm just saying and spreading my knowledge and telling the world to be careful. If you're aspiring actresses or model or musicians, there is a casting couch and they're gonna tell you to suck their dick, and so be careful. And this is not just a women issue. If you're a handsome boy, you gotta go through this too. So be careful. After I said that, Bryan Singer was following my Twitter. And I didn't even know who the fuck Bryan Singer was at the time. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? Right. So I deleted him. I deleted Bryan Singer because I didn't know who the fuck he was. Right. And you know what? After that, there's just a random guy I didn't even know, who a gay guy, was following my Twitter. And he asked me, are you talking about Kevin Spacey? And I have never met Kevin Spacey in my life, but I used to work in a recording studio, like in my early 20s as an intern. And I had a rumor several times about Kevin Spacey. Yeah, like Kevin Spacey likes to sleep with a handsome young good looking boys and stuff. I heard a rumor, but I didn't want to confirm about it because I don't know him personally. I have never met Kevin Spacey. I have never met Bryan Singer. I have never met those people in my life. So I'm not gonna make any accusation of those two. Or I don't even want to talk about those two. Well, I've already said that, but you know, I had a lot of gay friends back then, so some of my friends I knew back then was saying about and talking about Kevin Spacey. So yeah, it's just the beginning. So yeah, be careful. That's the only thing I could say.